the challenge for you, the 390 challenge. Choose what you want to learn in 2024 and aim to complete at least 90% of the course in the next 90 days. And if you do that, you get back 90% of what you paid for the course. We believe you can do that. Now all you got to do is commit to your success. Commit with Geeks for Geeks.
Hello. Okay, guys, we are live. So, hello everyone. I'm Viraj Jain, your mentor at Geeks4Geeks, and today we're gonna continue with our Next.js part. And we have been following with the complete playlist of our TypeScript. Then after that, we followed up with Next.js. So, in the previous class, we basically covered the introduction and installation of Next.js. So you can watch the previous video, and to get the access of all complete videos of the playlist, that is TypeScript and Next.js, what you can do is you can just visit the Geeks for Geeks development channel, and then in the playlist you would find the playlist. Okay, now let's talk about routing. We're gonna cover this complete topic and all types of routing which we can perform in Next.js. And trust me, this is the only video which you're gonna need to learn about routing in Next.js, and you're gonna fall in love with routing. Okay, because I think the easiest routing setup is available in Next.js if I compare it to React.js or something else. So definitely something which everyone must know if you are trying to learn Next.js. Okay, so let's begin. And before continuing, guys, I would like to mention about Geeks for Geeks 390 challenge. So basically what this challenge is, if you purchase any course in the month of January and you finish 90% of the course within the next 90 days of the purchase, then you get 90% of your amount refunded. Okay, so that's a very great opportunity for those who actually manifest a lot of things just like me. I purchased courses 6 months ago and I'm still not able to finish them. So it's if you are someone like me, then you can purchase courses and you can finish them in 3 months, and then you'll get some refund, 90% of the amount as refund, right? So very great motivation, and I hope everyone makes the best usage of these. And some best courses can be, you can just check out the Stack courses, or you can check out the DSA courses. They are really great, and some Android development courses are also there. Okay, so you can check out the official website of Geeks for Geeks. There you would get the courses portal, and there you can find the courses. And this month is only available for January. So suppose if you purchase any course in the month of February, so you won't get this 390 offer. You might get some other offers, because Geeks for Geeks brings a lot of awesome offers in futures also. Okay, so anyways, now let's continue with routing. So before that, I would like to ask all of you that what's exactly routing. So routing is like, if I talk about Instagram, you have profile page, you have a chat page, you have home page. Okay, so we have different pages. So these are what? These pages are what? These pages are basically routes. Okay, so Instagram has a lot of routes. So in short, if I give you a very basic example of a basic website, generally some websites have different pages. Okay, so I'm just gonna write the names here. Okay, so the names can be, for example, your website can basically have a home page. Okay, can basically have a home page. So home, and your website can also have an about page, right? And your website can also have a contact page, and so on. Your website can also have a profile page. So these are what? These are basically routes. Okay, you can create n number of routes. There is no mandatory thing here. You can just say that you have endless number of routes, as much as you want to create. Now you might have some dynamic routes also. For example, if I give example of Amazon, if you click on any product, you see that at the top you get some unique ID in the URL of the product. So for each product there might be some specific route. Okay, so that route is basically dynamic route. Okay, so we also have some dynamic routes. So it's like we have IDs. Okay, we have IDs in the route. Okay, so ID like product ID, user ID, the UI is same, but according to the ID, data is represented. So we basically have dynamic routes. Then we have some nested routes also. So that means we have nested routes. So for example, one route, then inside this we have another route, then we have another route. This is what nested route. Okay, so these are some concepts we generally have in routing, and we are gonna use these concepts. We're gonna know how to actually create these kind of routes in Next.js. Let's do that, guys. So first of all, I hope now you know what's basically routing. And now one more thing, if you are someone who is new, so I would like to mention, please watch all the videos. And if you want to get the source code of today, what we are going to do, I'm just gonna share the source code of my whatever project which you are gonna create today into my, just a second, यार ये कर्सर गायब हो जाता है. Okay, now, okay, so yes, I would share the source code of today's class from my GitHub profile. So just a second, what you can do is you can just visit github.com/viraj014. Just visit this GitHub profile, and there you can follow me. If you want to contact me, you can contact me on Instagram. In the repositories, guys, you would find TypeScript Next.js GFG. Here you would get the complete source codes for the TypeScript videos which we have already covered previously. You will get this, and for Next.js series you would get the source code here. Okay, so you can get the source code from here. I'll also share this in the live chat so that everyone can see this. Okay, right, so now let's continue, guys, and I'm gonna open up my pj1 which we created in the last class. Okay, and I'm simply going to just visit this TypeScript. Okay, yes, and then Next.js code, and this was the basic folder which we were working on, right? So I'm just gonna open this, and you can see that this is what we created in the last class, right? Now I hope everyone has this, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some routes here. Okay, we're gonna make different routes: home, about, contact, profile. Okay, these routes, we're gonna create some basic routes here. So if I talk about TypeScript, it's very easy to create these kind of routes. Let me just give you an example. So for example, if I just say that this was the src folder, right? This was the src folder. If I just go to terminal and new terminal, and here, guys, if I just say, okay, I think yes. So now I'm simply going to type npm run dev. This is the official command to run a TypeScript, run a Next.js project. I'm sorry, run a Next.js project. So you might see a page something like this. If I just go to localhost 3000, this is where our front end would run, and you can see in the home page we have shown this text. Okay, so if I just take you to my home page and page.tsx, you can see that we have somewhat this kind of text. You can see h1 tag, and we have shown the navbar. This is what my home page, right? This is what my home page. So let's do one thing, guys. I would just delete some things here. Okay, I would just delete one folder from here, that is the app folder. Okay, app folder would be deleted, suppose, and components would also be deleted. Okay, so right now you can see that we don't have anything here. We don't have any folder, src folder here. When we don't have src folder here, you can see what do we have. We basically have this internal server error. That means, first of all of your pages would be inside the src folder. First of all, so I'm just going to create the src folder, right? Now once you create src folder, if I refresh, you can see it also needs the app folder. So if you are talking about routes, all the routes must be mentioned inside the app folder, and if you have components, all the components would be mentioned inside the components folder. Okay, so src just like a common folder. Inside this we have apps, components, css, also we have styles also. So I'm just gonna say styles, and we have assets also, like images. Okay, so assets. So all of these things are basically inside the src folder. Okay, now you would see that we have app folder. So now if I just show you, we have app folder, we have created app folder, but you can see this page could not be found, because inside app folder you have to mention your routes. The home page route is by default mentioned with what? Mentioned with, just write page.tsx, just write this. Okay, now inside this you need to write your page, and automatically you can see we have layout.tsx. Automatically it's created. Okay, you don't need to do anything. Okay, so this layout is first of all loaded. Inside this your home page would be passed. Home page is this page. Okay, so here what you have to do is, here I would just tell you one extension, that is you need to search about ES7. Just search about this extension and you would get this extension ES7 plus. Just install this, then you're good to go. Now here if I just write RAFCE and if I just write something like this is home page. So guys, here you would see that this is basically the home page. If I just zoom in, you can see this is basically the home page, right? So I hope you got this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create different routes. Okay, so this is what by default the home route, right? Home route. And what you can see here is the default page is page.tsx. Now suppose if I want to create the about page, so I'm just going to create one folder for about, and here itself I'm just going to create page dot. Now, one more thing, guys. Right now, you don't know what's layout. Okay, I haven't taught you what's layout. We're going to discuss that in the upcoming video. Right now, just focus on this page.tsx. So once I write page.tsx inside about folder, and I'm just going to write RAFCE. I'll just write this is about page. Okay, this is about page, right? Now let me just show you. If I just write slash about, you can see that I got the about page. But if I write some wrong spelling, for example, if I write something like this, so you can see that I'm getting 404 not found. This is the default page created by TypeScript, created by Next.js, when you have some page which is not available. Okay, later on we'll discuss more about this in today's video, what's exactly 404, how we can create a custom 404 page. But if the route is incorrect, you would get this 404 error. But if the route is correct, you can see that it's perfect. Okay, now similarly I'm just gonna create one more route. For example, we have some contact page. So here itself, if I create the contact page, and I'm just gonna say that we have page.tsx, and I'm just gonna write RAFCE, right? And here I'm just gonna say that this is what, this is contact page, right? This is contact page. So now guys, if I just write contact, you can see I got the contact page, right? Perfect. And similarly you can create a lot of different pages. So this is what we can say, these are basic routes, right? Now let's talk about a few more types of route, that is nesting of routes. Okay, so basically what's exactly nesting of routes? It's like when you have one route inside another route. Okay, so for example, if I just give you example of nesting, let's come inside this, and yes, now I'm just gonna draw a few figures. For example, you have a settings page. Okay, you have settings section. Okay, you have settings section. Inside settings, you might have some sub routes also. So for example, this is your website and you have some settings section. Inside settings section, you might have one route, that is suppose profile settings, and one suppose theme settings, one route for suppose logout, or no, it won't be logout, it would be something like if you want to edit, suppose uh, privacy. Okay, privacy. So you can see that inside settings also you might have some other routes. So for this, what you can actually do is just go inside app, and then you just need to write first of all settings. So first of all we created the settings. Okay, I'm sorry, not inside, yes, okay, yes, settings. Okay, so settings. Now inside this, don't worry about this folder icon, this is because I'm using a theme, but you can just assume this is a normal folder, just like about contact, just a normal route. Okay, now inside this, what I need to do is I just need to create subfolders. That is, for example, I just need to write privacy. Okay, privacy. Similarly, inside settings you can just write one more thing, that is profile. I think this is it. Now inside privacy, I'm again gonna write page.tsx, and here I'll just write RAFCE, and you can see that this is privacy page, right? And similarly guys, inside profile we're gonna have page.tsx, and here itself I'm just gonna say this is profile page. Now one thing which you might notice here is if I write here settings, okay, if I write here settings, I won't get anything. I won't get anything. Why I didn't get anything? Because inside SRs, inside settings, you can see we have privacy route, we have profile route, but we don't have a page which I want to represent if I visit the settings route. That means if I visit settings.privacy, settings/privacy, I would get this page. Okay, let me just show you. If I write settings/privacy, you can see I'm getting this page, right? If I, instead of this, if I write profile, you can see I'm getting the profile page. But if I just write settings, I'm not getting anything. So if you want to get something, it's totally up to you. If you want to get something, suppose in this case, just write settings. So for that, you just need to create a page.tsx for this settings page.tsx, right? I'm just gonna write here RAFCE. That's it, guys. So you can see that this is settings page. So now we just created the settings route also. So you can see this is settings page, right? Similarly, if I just write /privacy, so you can see I'm getting the privacy page. And also if I write the profile, you can see I'm getting the profile page, right? It's very easy to make, and you can see routing is damn easy here. Okay, Siddiq, hi Siddiq. Okay, now this is what nesting of route. You can see one route is nested. Suppose you want to nest one more route, what you can actually do is just very basic approach. Just inside this, create one folder, and suppose I'm gonna have some password page, for example. So password, inside this I'm just gonna create page.tsx. Okay, so suppose if someone visits this password route, okay, someone visits this password route, so I'm just gonna say that password page, password page, right? So you can see if I write /password, so you can see that I am inside the password page, right? So that's how really these things work. You can see that routing is easy in Next.js. You can just watch the video from start if you have missed something, and I'm also gonna share the source code. You can watch things again. Okay, so now we have covered the nesting of routes. This is what nesting the routes. Now we want to cover one more thing. What? Basically, suppose you have auth routes. Okay, suppose you have auth routes. Auth route is like login page, sign up page, and forgot password. So suppose you have login page. Okay, suppose you have login page. Okay, similarly we have register page. Okay, so register page of our website. Similarly we have forgot password. Okay, we have forgot password, right? Forgot password. Inside this, guys, let's create page.tsx, and I'm just gonna write RAFCE. This is what FORGOT password page, right? And similarly, guys, we're gonna have this page.tsx inside login, inside register also. Okay, now let's say that inside login page, I'm just gonna say login page, right? Similarly, we're gonna have register page. Okay, so registered register page, right? What if I don't want the settings page, but I want settings/privacy? That means you don't want the settings route. Okay, I'm just explaining that. Like for example, can you give me more a brief of what you're trying to say? What if I don't want the settings page, but in URL I want to get the settings? Yes, okay. For that, what you can do is you can directly write this. Okay, if you want to directly get this, you can directly write this. But if settings page is missing, then you would get 404 instead of this. Instead of this, you would get 404 if just settings page is missing. Okay, so that would work if you don't have this. For example, you can see that we have settings, right? Inside settings we have page.tsx, which would be acting as settings page. Okay, so if I delete this, your privacy and profile routes would be still working, would still be working, but your settings page would be gone. Okay, so if I write /privacy, so you can see I am having this. Okay, if I write profile, I'm still having this. Okay, they are working, but settings route would stop working if you don't have any page for that. Okay, so it's like folder under subfolder. Now I'm giving you one good example. Like for example, you can see this is forgot password page and this login page, and this is register page. So it's like /auth / forgot password /auth / login /auth / register. Okay, so let me just give you an example. So if I write /auth / login, if you write this, you can see that I have to unnecessarily write auth. I have to unnecessarily write auth. In the same example of settings page, I don't have a dedicated page for settings. I have settings privacy page, I have settings profile page. Let's take this example. You can see that we have auth route. Inside this we have login. We don't have any dedicated page for auth, right? We don't have any dedicated page for auth. That means this route is unnecessary. And if I write login here, can see that's fine. But what I want is, if I just write directly like this, I want to get login page. And also I write forgot password, I want to get forgot password page. I write register, I get the register page. How you can do this? First way is just write them outside. Just write these three folders outside of auth folder. But I want to group these three. I want to group these three. That means inside auth folder, these three must exist. Okay, I want to group these three, but I don't want the auth route. For that, what you can do is you can just write, just rename this. So just press F2, and then here just pass these brackets. Just pass these brackets. Once you pass these brackets, what you really need to do is, it would, I think, take some time. If I now refresh, okay, just a second, it would take some time. Just a second, let me just close this. And yes, okay, yes, now you can see that it's changed, and now I have to just restart. Okay, so you have to sometimes restart. Then you can see that once I have restarted, you can see I still have these three folders inside auth folder, but this time auth route is not required now. So now if I just refresh, you can see, okay, just let's just start this. Okay, so here I just need to write, okay, I'm sorry, this bracket must be this circular bracket. I'm sorry, I think now it must work. Let me just check it for a second. Okay, just a second. Yes, if I now start this, yes, now it's perfect. These circular brackets are there. I'm sorry, whatever you call it, not square brackets. Okay, so now if I just show you this, if I just refresh, you can see that auth route is now not required. Even if the register folder is inside the auth folder, but you can see now the auth folder is skipped. Okay, so if you just write it inside brackets, now you can see auth route is not required. Login, register, and forgot password are still grouped inside the auth folder, but now auth route is not required. So that's really saving a lot of I could say that time, I can say. Okay, just one word is missing here, auth word. You don't need to write auth word unnecessarily. If you write /login directly, so what it would do, it would directly go inside this auth directory, and inside this I would go inside the login. Similarly, we have forgot password, similarly we have register. Okay, so that's how this routing works. Okay, so this is one good concept, and I think Siddiq asked the same doubt. So you can see I don't need to write auth now. In this case, I can directly write login, register, or forgot password. Okay, very good thing. Now this is some basic thing. Now let's take example of Amazon. Let me just search it privately, just a second. Okay, so I'll just go to incognito mode, so that, yes, so here if I just search for Amazon, right, if I just search for Amazon, and if I just suppose search for this, okay, you can go to this website. Here you can see we have a lot of products, and for example, if I just click on any of the product, for example, if I click on this LG TV, okay, for example, if I click on this, so you can see that at the top we have some kind of ID. Okay, if I okay, just ignore this one. I'm gonna give you a better example. You can see, suppose you have list of products. Okay, you have list of products. Now here you can see we have each product has a product page, right? The UI is same, but the data is different. That means we have only one route which shows the product data. data is different but the page is same, right? So even if I click on this, I would land to same UI. Okay, even if I click on this product, I would land to same UI. Even if I click on this product, I would land to same UI. What's changing here? You can see that the route is changing here, the ID is changing here, the UI is exactly same. Suppose you have one product, you can create one separate route. You have two products, you can create two separate route. If you have three products, you can create separate route. But if you have crores of products, would you be creating crores of folder which we studied right now? Obviously not. So for that we have dynamic routes. That means according to this ID, we are gonna represent this data. That means page is same, just the ID is taken from the route, rest everything is same. Okay, rest everything is same. Okay, so you can see everything is same, just the ID is changing. You can see that the ID is changing. Okay, the ID is changing. Exactly. Okay, rest everything is same. You can see Amazon in is same, rest everything is same, but the ID or the name things which they have shown here are changing. So that's what we want to do. That's basically known as dynamic routing. How you're gonna follow up with dynamic routing? Let's try to understand dynamic routing. So for example, I'm gonna give you a very good example. Suppose someone visits slash products page. Okay, slash products page, and here I'm gonna assume you are showing some n number of products. Okay, you are showing some n number of products. For example, this is one product and this is another product and this is another product. You can see you have some products in this product page. Now if I suppose this is what product 1, this is suppose product 2, this is product 3. Okay, suppose there are 3 products. You can assume you have crores of products, right? Suppose if I click on this product card, I want to show a product page with complete details of this product. Okay, so if I click on this, I want to take the user to this route. So products, and suppose after this you have the product ID or name, whatever you want to show. I'm going to show product ID, that is 1. If you click on this, you have products slash 2. Okay, if you click on this, you have products slash 3, and all of this would exactly show a same page but with different product data. How different product data would be gotten? By this ID. Okay, so now let's understand how dynamic routes really work. Okay, so for that, first of all, let's go back to our application, and I'm just gonna close everything. You can see I've closed everything. Okay, now inside app, I'm just gonna create one products route. So PRODUCTS products route. Inside this, guys, we have a product page. So page.tsx, right? And I'm just gonna write RAFCE and let's create some products here. Okay, so I'm just gonna say division, and let's say we have a heading for this as product 1, and I'm just gonna say that we have a p tag. This is p1. Okay, this is p1. Similarly, we're gonna have, okay, just make this small. Similarly, we're gonna have some n number of products. Okay, so product 2. Similarly, we're gonna have product 3. Okay, product 3. So you can see you have some n number of products. Okay, now let me just show you this page. So here if I write slash PRODUCTS, and that's it. Now if I just write it like this, so you can see I'm getting these 3 products. Okay, so let's just do one thing. I'm just gonna give it some styling also. Or giving the stylings, what you can do is you can just give it inside the styles folder. I'm just gonna create one directory named as PRODUCT dot module dot css, right? Product dot module dot css. As soon as you create this file, it would allow you to write styles here. Okay, so I'm just gonna say product card, just give it some stylings. So I'm just gonna say normal css stylings. I'm just gonna say suppose it has some border of 1 pixel solid red. Okay, and then some margin of 20 pixel between each product. I think this is it, and you can style it later, but I'm gonna import the css. I'm just gonna say import styles. Just write it like this, styles from, and then you need to write @ once you write @ you jump to the src directly. Inside src you have styles folder. Inside styles you have product.module.css. Now guys, you just need to write class name, and inside brackets you just need to write styles dot this product card. Okay, I'm sorry, not for this division, for inner divisions. Okay, so just cut this and paste it here, paste it here, and paste it here. So you can see that now for each product you have stylings, right? Perfect. So you can assume that these are the three products which we have created, these are the product cards. Now if I click on this product, okay, that's navigation. Okay, if I click on this product, I'm going to take the user to some other page. We're going to understand navigation in the upcoming videos, but assume as soon as I click on this, I'm going to take the user to this product /1. Okay, I'm going to take the user to this route. Okay, let's create this route. Okay, let's create this route. And for that, I'm just going to say we have folder named as 1. Okay, inside this we have page.tsx, right? I'm just going to write RAFCE and product page, product 1 page. Okay, so let's see. So you can see I'm getting the product page, but suppose I have another product whose ID is 2. You can see for that also I have to create product 2. Okay, second page, I'm just gonna copy and I'm gonna paste it. Okay, and second page. Okay, and this is for product 2 page. Okay, looks cool since we only have 2-3 products. But if you have crores of products, suppose for the third product if you want to get the data, you have to again create the page. For the fourth product you want to get the data again. For this product, so again you want to create this. So for endless number of routes like this, you don't know what exactly values could come here, and you want to show something for each. According to this, your data would change, product data would change, but your page layout would be same, the design would be same. So you just need to create a dynamic route. Okay, how you can create a dynamic route? So instead of this, guys, just delete this, and instead of this I'm just gonna rename this to product ID, PRODUCT ID, whatever you want to name. I'm just gonna write it like this. So inside these brackets I'm just gonna write product ID, so product ID, and yes. So now let me just remove this, and now you can see for any product you would get the product page. Even if you write your name here, you would get the product page only. Okay, so it's like now you created a dynamic route. Whatever you write here, you would get this only. Okay, so now for example your product ID is something like this, and you want to get the data. Okay, and you want to get the data. Now how you're gonna get this? Okay, so for that we have params. Okay, how we gonna get these params? So for that, what I'm just gonna say, that since this is the page, okay, inside this I'm just gonna pass a parameter named as params. Automatically you would get the params. It's gonna name it as any. Okay, and any is declare value is never right. Okay, I think this is fine, and I'm just gonna say for this page I'm just gonna print console.log params. Okay, so most probably, okay, it's saying that we are having a TypeScript warning. Okay, anyways, this is just a TypeScript warning. You can just skip this, or you can just write it like this. You can give this type. I'm just gonna save it as any type. Okay, that would be better. So any kind of params would be here. So right, I'm just saying whatever params are you are sending, I'm just gonna print this. Okay, I'm just gonna print this params. So since we are using TypeScript, so we have to define the type interface here, then a type alias here, and then we are gonna use it. So I've just defined that params would be of any types. Okay, that's what I've said, and I'm just printing this. Okay, so I'll just inspect, and then we're just gonna console. So if I just refresh, I'm not getting anything. Okay, I think I have to show it here maybe. Okay, so let's try to show it here directly. Most probably I would get it. So params. Okay, so params would be here, and from params I have to get what? Product ID. That's the folder name. So product ID. That's it guys. So now let's try to get this. So you can see that I'm getting the product ID here. Okay, so now if you know merge tag and you know how to get data from a variable, this is what a variable. You would send this variable to your backend, your product ID to the backend, and you would receive the data and you would show that to your page. But the main question was how to get this ID. So you can simply write params.product ID. That is the folder name. This is the folder name which we got. Okay, so that's how you can get the dynamic routes. Now instead of this, if I write something else like this, so you would get this. Okay, so I hope now you understood how basically these dynamic routes work. Okay, can we write the CSS in product DI? Yes, you can directly write the CSS, but in Next.js, I would always recommend that makes things systematically. But suppose if you want to, you don't want the styles directly, what you can do is I'll just cut this, and directly I would go inside products directory. Okay, you can see I have just pasted this product.module.css. You have to write the CSS just like this, because Next.js, this is the format. Although you can write normal CSS also, but in Next.js, this is the format. So please follow this format. Now I have added the CSS here. So what I'm going to do is inside the product ID, sorry, inside the product page, you can see inside the products page, you can see that now the path has been changed. So I'm just going to say that in the same folder, look for product module.css. That's it. Okay, so it's just like the directory has changed. The CSS is exactly same. The folder name is changed. And normally you just write product.css, but in Next.js, I would say just write like product.module.css. This is the convention with Next.js follows. Okay, so you can see it's exactly same, and you can see that's how CSS is implemented inside this page. Now you might be wondering that suppose if you go to the product page, can see that if I click on this, I must take the user to product 1 page. If I click on this, I must take the user to product 2 page. If I click on this, must take the user to product 3 page. For that, we basically have Next.js navigation, which we're gonna understand in upcoming video. It's a very basic concept, but I think I need to create a proper implementation for that. Or else what I'm gonna do is okay, just a second, let me just do that for you. I'll explain this in short. Okay, how Next.js navigation really works. Just a second. Yes, so for that we basically can search for Next.js navigation. So Next.js navigation, you can go to the official website and you can see we basically have link tags. You can see basically have link tags for it. Either you can use link tag or you can use router hook. So let's follow this basic approach of link tag. You can see that it's just like a link tag, and just need to specify the URL in which you want to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna import link tag from Next.js link. Just copy this and just go to the product page. This is the products page, right? Here I've just imported the link tag, and assuming that this division, I would just pass this division, suppose, or okay, I'll just pass the link tag here only. So link and to, and I want to take this to slash, okay, I'm sorry, it's like just write this, okay, and then I'm just gonna write these backticks, okay, then I'm just gonna write slash products, uh, and here I want to take the user, okay, directly I can just write it directly, right? I can just write directly, okay. So basically it's href, I'm sorry, it's basically href, it's not two. So you just need to write href, and inside this I would just write I want to take the user to products slash one. Okay, I want to take the user to this page on clicking of this, right? Perfect. Now for that, I'm just gonna say that suppose we have view button here. Okay, we have view button here. Now let's see how it looks. So you can see right now we have here, if I click on this, you can see I'm taken to products one page. Okay, suppose now if I just copy this, and I have the same button here, I have the same button here, and I want to take the user to products too. Don't worry about the CSS, since we are going to create projects later on, so I'm going to build beautiful CSS in those projects. Right now we're just understanding the concepts of Next.js specifically, so let's focus on that. So you can see that for each product we can now have navigation. Perfect. Now I'm just going to say that let's go back here, and you can see we have yes, we have this view. If I click on this, yes, we have this. And for P3 also, we basically have products 3, right? Perfect. So you can see if I click on this, we have P3, right? So that's how it really works. Now you can do mapping instead. If you have a list of products coming from the backend, for example, from backend, you bought all the products. Okay, so I'm just gonna say my PRODUCTS, and this is the data which you got from your backend. Okay, so for example, suppose you have a product name, and I'm just gonna say that it has Apple Watch. Okay, Apple Watch, suppose this is the name, and suppose the ID of this is suppose this is the ID, right? And similarly you have another product whose name and ID is something else. Okay, so Apple TV and Apple iPhone, and That's it. Suppose you have these products. Okay, suppose you have these products and this is having some other ID and this is also having some other ID. So you can see that each product is having some ID, right? And now I'm just going to map this product data. You can have more data also inside the object. I hope you know this. If you learned MERN stack previously, you know this. Okay, so instead of this, what I would show is, instead of this, I would just map my products. Okay, so my products, so my products dot map, and I'm just gonna map each product like this. So I'm just gonna return, and I am going to return a division. Okay, so now what's the exact problem? Okay, I'm sorry, these are circular brackets. Okay, yes, and now I'm just gonna return that. Okay, so I'm just saying whatever is the product card styling would come here, then the product name, and this is okay, so this is Apple Watch, and then according to this you would show the page. Okay, so let's do this. So for example, now if I just reload, so you can see the same UI is here, but with that data is mapped, right? Now if I click on this, you can see I'm getting the ID of Apple Watch. If I click on this, I'm getting the ID of Apple TV. If I click on this, I'm getting the ID of Apple iPhone. Okay, so that's how it really works. Okay, so I hope now you understood how dynamic routes work. Okay, now there is one more case of dynamic route. For example, you have suppose route name as R1. Okay, now inside this you have one more route named as R2. Okay, and suppose inside this you have one more route named as, suppose you have infinite number of routes. Okay, so you don't want to create something like this. Okay, so what you can actually do is here itself I'm just gonna say, just rename this and then brackets, and I'm just gonna write it like this, infinite routes, something like this, whatever you want to name. I'm just renaming it like this. So I'm just gonna name it like this, infinite routes, or in a better way, let's write it in a better way. So my random routes, suppose I've created this route. Okay, inside this I'm gonna create one infinite route, that means infinite routes. I'm just gonna name it like this. You can name it anything else, it's not compulsory. So three dots and infinite routes, so it can contain infinite routes. So I'm just gonna say that page dot tsx, and I'm just gonna write RAFCE, and I'm just gonna say infinite route page. Okay, so it's like if you have infinite routes for this route, for example, if I just write slash my, okay, slash my random routes. Okay, so you can see that for this case you are getting this. Okay, I think after this, if I write something like, if I write R1, you can see I'm getting infinite route. If I write slash R2 after this, then also I'm getting infinite route. If I write R3, then also I'm getting infinite route. So if you have this kind of case where you want to show exact same page, it doesn't matter how many slashes you have, you want to show the exact same page, so you can do it like this. Okay, so guys, I hope you understand the I hope you understood the concept of routing, how it really works. And now guys, what we're going to do is we're going to upload this source code to GitHub. Okay, so let's upload the source code to GitHub, and then we can end this video. Okay, just a second. Right, so git add dot and git commit m, and I'm just gonna name it as day 2 Next.js, and then we're gonna push this source code. Okay, so guys, now I've pushed the complete source code to GitHub. So if you want to get the complete source code of today's class, the complete routing part, what you can exactly do is you can just visit my GitHub profile. You just need to type github.com/viraj014. just visit here, and you can just go to the repositories, and if you want to follow me, you can follow me here. And in the repositories you would find TypeScript Next.js GFG. You can mark it as a star, or you can fork it if you want. Okay, so if I click on this, you have the complete source code for previous classes and today's class, that is my PJ1 project is here. Okay, so that's it for today guys. The complete source code is here, and we finished routing today. I hope you understood routing in Next.js. It's very easy, but very important. All the types of routing have been covered today. So that's it for today guys. I will see you in the next one. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.